The crime of conspiracy involves an agreement to commit an unlawful act, but sometimes it can be difficult to determine whether people are merely fantasizing together about criminal behavior or whether they've formed a conspiracy to commit a crime. The court explored this distinction in the disturbing case of United States versus Valle. Gilberto Valle was a New York City police officer and participant in an online sex fetish community. Valle exchanged chat messages with community members in which he shared photographs of his wife and female acquaintances and graphically described kidnapping, torturing, raping, killing, and cannibalizing the women. Some chats involved fantasy role-playing scenarios about committing sexual violence or cooking people. In 2012, Valle chatted online with 3 men, known to Valle only by email addresses or screen names, about kidnapping Valle's wife, his wife's colleague, and some of Valle's female friends and acquaintances. Valle sent the men pictures of the women, discussed prices for the kidnappings, plotted how the kidnappings would occur, and described detailed plans for killing and cannibalizing the abducted women, in locations including Ohio, New York, and India or Pakistan. Valle lied to the men about where he lived, whether he'd surveilled the women, and whether he had the necessary equipment to kidnap and kill the victims. Valle also never provided the men with true identifying details about the women or their locations. Valle discussed many of the same purported plans and shared similar lies with other community members besides the 3 men. Ultimately, Valle and the 3 men never kidnapped the women, but Valle's wife became suspicious about his online activities and eventually discovered Valle's chats. Valle's wife notified federal authorities, and Valle was arrested and charged with crimes, including conspiracy to kidnap the women, discussed in the chats. The government asserted that although most of Valle's online communications involved fantasies, Valle's chats with the 3 men crossed the line into criminal conspiracy. After a trial in federal court in New York City, the jury convicted Valle on the conspiracy charge. Valle moved for a judgment of acquittal. He argued that the government hadn't proved that his chats with the men were anything other than fantasy role-playing.